Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now July 2nd of 2025, and given that the Meghan Markle drama and backlash continues, we know that there's been a lot of issues going on between herself, Ted Sarandos, Greg Peters, and the many executives over there. Even the board of directors are beginning to turn the tide. And a lot of this is due in part to the viral video, that viral pregnancy video that really not only, tainted the Netflix image because she does indeed represent them, but it also really kind of put a overall contrast on how bad the series with Love Meghan truly is and how fake, phony, and inauthentic Meghan Markle really is. It just reassured that to everyone in the public eye. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. Now, as of now, we know that Ted Sarandos, generally speaking, is still on Meghan Markle's side to a degree, but he is really beginning to show some major cracks, really beginning to actually show major signs that he is beginning to get fed up with Meghan Markle shenanigans, and a lot of this has to do with the recent cancellation of Meghan Markle in a very unique way, and exactly how this is coming in the midst of the ongoing reshoots and, of course, the ongoing aftermath, I should say, of the viral video, the viral pregnancy video that she posted on Instagram that she refuses to take down, mind you. However, this is where it gets really interesting. Now, one thing about Ted Sarandos is that we already know that he's only trying to save his reputation at this point. He is trying to save his image over at Netflix. That's the only reason why he is deciding to take some form of action against Meghan Markle in different areas and in varying, unique ways, essentially, over at Netflix HQ. However, on top of everything, with the Meghan Markle drama only getting worse over time as season 2 reshoots are underway for With Love Meghan, one major development going on now involves more to do with Meghan Markle and her recent reaction after getting cancelled by Netflix in a very specific way after her infamous pregnancy video went viral and getting into serious trouble multiple times. Now, it turns out that Meghan and Ted Sarandos had a deal with each other throughout much of 2024 to put out multiple shows on Netflix beyond the program With Love Meghan. This involved a series focused on Meghan's love for fashion and also a travel-oriented show that was going to be part of the Meghan Markle contract deal. Now, since 2 months ago, this is very important, those projects have been shelved and not necessarily cancelled until just now, where Ted Sarandos made a recent bold move to cancel both TV shows at Netflix outright and agreed with the other CEO, Greg Peters, to make this call effective immediately. The original plan was to start filming this series by the middle of July and the other show to be filmed throughout the month of August, both of which were going to be treated as mini-series, running around 3 to 4 episodes each. And though With Love Meghan Season 2 is still happening, both of these TV shows have now been axed completely altogether and will never happen and never see the light of day. Now, this could very well be a direct signal that Meghan's contract may not get renewed after all. However, the main reason why Ted decided to cancel these two programs had a lot to do with the backlash related to that pregnancy video that she had posted. Now, it turns out a large portion of the fashion show was going to focus on Meghan Markle shopping for her friends' babies and children for clothing, where one whole episode was going to be dedicated to that and focusing on that. These two shows were shelved around late April, to be very specific, and were waiting to be cancelled until just now, days ago. Meghan's acts of plagiarism for With Love Meghan Season 2 were also best described as a deal breaker for Ted Sarandos. The main reason why they were able to cancel this show out of her contract prematurely had much to do with the fact that they weren't necessarily finalized in the existing contract and were intended to be used once her contract would be renewed, essentially. Hence why this serves as a sign of a potential contract expiration in September. Now, guys, let me say one thing about Meghan Markle. Now, you can only imagine how she is reacting. We'll get into that in just a second, about how Ted Sarandos is beginning to act more and more like Greg Peters at this point, which is a very big shocker. And look, I don't think it's coming from a place of, being generous or anything like that to the Netflix executives and everyone else trying to make things right over there. I think he's only doing this to really kind of just put himself in a better place, because he's getting a lot of flack. He's getting a lot of negativity from critics, from customers, from shareholders right now. And that's exactly why, and the only reason why, he's beginning to at least show some form of effort of taking action against Meghan Markle. And look, I don't really see it as anything real or authentic coming from Ted, but it's at least a step in the right direction to doing something, right? At least something. So, however, on top of that, time will tell on that one. Meghan Markle reportedly once again was fuming with Ted Sarandos and felt betrayed by his recent actions, and she already blamed him for only trying to look out for himself and not for herself. The board of directors also agreed on this call that both Greg and Ted made together. Now look, that's another major sign. The fact that the board agreed with these actions, these cancellation of shows that Meghan Markle was going to get for a contract renewal, is interesting. Now, these shows were a go, and now they're no longer a go, and I think that's a very big sign about what lies ahead in September for her contract renewal and her expiration. Now, these shows needed to be canceled. Nobody would have ever watched a show about Meghan Markle traveling the world, let alone Meghan Markle on a show going shopping in malls or on Rodeo Drive, and that was going to be a main focus in this series, by the way. We talked about that some weeks ago, that it was going to be heavily focused on Rodeo Drive stores, so to speak. But moving onwards, the board of directors also agreed on this call that both Greg and Ted did this, and they viewed it as a necessity to save funds for other projects unrelated to Meghan Markle. These saved funds that would have been spent on Meghan's shows will now be used for other popular Netflix exclusive shows and or programs. Meghan and her team are already panicking and begging Ted for a contract renewal regardless of these recent cancellations, where it stands right now. And look, the fact that they always go toward Ted and not Greg, I think speaks volumes. I think it really confirms what we've all been talking about for so very long now, that there is something going on there between Meghan and Ted. I don't know what, we probably will never find out, but she has something on him. There's some kind of connection going on there, that she has some form of influence over Ted Sarandos, and I think that's why he's not taking full action against her, but he is taking some action against her. And these cancellations, I think, were long overdue. It's something that needed to be done at Netflix HQ. And look, I think September is going to be a very interesting month to see exactly where this all turns out, where this all goes, and whether or not these are going to be true signals for the fate of Meghan Markle at Netflix, generally speaking. So overall, I mean, there's a lot of things going on here between Ted, Greg, the executives, the board of directors, and the producers. They're all trying to salvage season 2 of With Love, Meghan. They're spending so much money on this thing that it's just a ridiculous amount. And look, that's exactly why prices are going up in Netflix. They keep spending or overspending on shows like this that don't really need to even be in existence at all. But overall, I mean, when you look at a show like this, alright, nobody's asking for this. Nobody wants to watch such garbage like this on Netflix to begin with. And there really is no demand for a Meghan Markle series coming back for a part 2, alright? And the main reason why they have to put this out is that they shot all 16 episodes at once via her contract. It was all done at one time. The most inauthentic thing that Netflix did was that they're calling this season 2, when in reality it's just part 2 of season 1. Literally, this show never got renewed, it never got picked up. It's just all a facade to make it sound like it's really successful. I would like to hear what everyone has to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.